1 second to turn your music down. We were jamming you guys yesterday too on stream. It was fucking awesome. I'm gonna have to make some clips from it because it was great. You guys, today I am joined by Frankie and Doug of the band Exhausted. Yet another Sioux Falls legendary group in the making. Exhausted is a thrashy groove metal band that was formed by members of other well-known bands in the area, such as nodes of Ranvier, Suffer, Angarot, and Tennessee Murder Club. Tell me you're in a metal band without telling me you're in a metal band. Bringing us brutal riffs, big vocals, and an old school style, and a big punch of energy. Exhausted, welcome to Fuck, Marry, Music, my friends.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. I got Doug here in the middle, and I got Frank over on the far side of me. So you guys know who you're looking at. Yeah, that's right. He's over there. And so it's kind of becoming a running joke now, but it's also, educational for me and my stream. So my community is comprised of people from all over the world. A lot of people in Europe, actually, for whatever reason. I'm huge in Europe, but also all over the country. And you're now the third South Dakota band that we've interviewed here. So please, in your own words, what notable things are there in your eyes about South Dakota that you could tell to a bunch of internet strangers from all over the world?
Well, you have the Black Hills, and in the Black Hills, there's Mount Rushmore, which I think everybody in America knows what it is, but I don't think many people actually know where it is.
That is true.
But then there's also, there's Crazy Horse Monument that they're constructing out there too.
Oh,
those are some of the more notable things, but otherwise it's lots of cornfields, soy fields, and
I heard about the corn. I
yeah.
heard you guys have a thing with corn, and there's like corn museums and mazes and stuff.
Oh yeah, we have a corn palace. Not that it's
palace.
particularly noteworthy. It sounds cooler than it is, but
it's not a palace. It's like a gymnasium.
Oh.
With a small.
And they just have corn on the exterior. So
pretty much, yeah.
Is it worth the visit? Davo said corn with
a K.
You're
swinging through. I mean, it's something to do, I guess. It's one of the few cities. If you're traveling through the state, like the biggest interstate is I-90. So you're traveling through the state, you're going to hit, if you go from east to west, you're going to hit Sioux Falls, and you're going to hit Mitchell, and you're going to hit Chamberlain, and then you'll be heading towards Rapid City, which is where all the cool shit Doug was talking about is. Gotcha. We are on the other side where it's a lot prettier than you think it is. It's not just like a bunch of green, empty fields or whatever. It's our summers are pretty nice. Our winters are kind of shitty.
Heard about that.
There's some hardy, helpful people here for the most part, I would say. So.
I've heard about the hardy, helpful people, and I've heard that extends to the music scene down there as well.
Yeah, we all know each other. We've all played gigs together, even in the band Exhausted. We all had separate bands that were playing gigs together at one point or another.
Yeah. Yeah. Did I butcher the names of those bands, by the way?
No, you got all of them. No, Ranvier you came around to.
Okay, so it is Ranvier, because my family is French. So when I read the word, I wanted to say Ranvier, and then I'm like, oh wait, this is America. I should probably say Ranvier.
Everyone does say Ranvier, for the most part. But yeah, it technically.
Okay, Ranvier. So,
or we just call it nodes around here so that you don't have to worry about it.
Nodes. Oh, that's so much cooler too. That's like very like skater. It's nodes. It's nodes, bro. Love that. That's awesome. Okay. So we've been talking about the South Dakota music scene, and I'm really just trying to figure out like what is the genre of the people down there? Up there, I guess I should say. Down because it's south, but up because it's more north than most of the country. What's the like most popular genre? Not just like, I feel like it's country, right? But like in the local scene, like what types of bands do you guys get?
There's a lot of hip hop here. Oh. But that feels like very separate from like the heavy scene, There's not a lot of crossover. In terms of heavy music, there's a lot of death metal and core bands, a lot of like deathcore, metalcore kind of stuff.
That's cool. That's pretty dope. So, would you say it's a saturated scene out there? Because, I mean, Davo in chat is saying South Dakota is a hotbed of talent. Obviously, you're now the third very talented band that I'm interviewing from there. Are there many more of you like this?
There's a lot of metal bands out here, but I do think that we probably are the biggest genre.
Okay.
I mean, there's some hip hop guys for sure. I mean, you got like Night Shield and some of these kind of regional acts. You know, they've expanded outside of the city and are more regional acts. Then you got what's his name, Thurman. You know what I'm talking about, Doug? Who's like all over. He's nationwide. He's a hip hop.
Oh yeah, Denim.
Denim. There you go. Yeah. He's very
like there's not that many rappers, but like rap does well here, you know, is what I would say.
It does. But we don't do bad either in the rock and the metal stuff because he's in a band called The Disarmed, and they usually have a pretty good following when y'all play. Yeah, and that's like a rock band, like a grunge rock band. They're fucking awesome, of course. I mean, it's how we found this guy right here.
I love that. So have you guys so also another thing that I'm learning about South Dakota is everybody's in all the bands. Like everybody's in a lot of bands, which, you know, I was just rattling off names of bands for you guys as well.
Yeah.
Have you guys like toured or traveled far out of South Dakota with the bands?
I played a few shows outside of town, and I think Doug has too. So we probably dipped our toes in other places more times than we maybe should have, but we tried. Yeah.
Sick.
Some of our guys toured in some of their older bands like Nodes and Suffer and stuff back in, you know, like Suffer would have been in what, the late 80s, 90s.
Yeah, they were teenagers. Yeah.
Right. And then Nodes was, you know, big in the 2000s. So I'd say the most touring that anyone has done is our drummer Josh from those bands, and then our singer Nick from those bands too.
Wow.
So I think Tennessee Murder Club also did some back in the day, but we haven't done much out of town. So,
but plans maybe DC?
Maybe we'll see.
We'll see.
I know,
the opportunity.
DC is a beast of its own, honestly. So I told you we were listening to your music on stream yesterday. Really great. Definitely right up the alley of a lot of my community members, which is awesome. So I played 2 of your songs. Let me tell you which ones. We played What's It Gonna Be and Self-Strangulation. Great names, by the way. What's It Gonna Be was not a cover of Third Eye Blind, by the way. So I was confused.
Oh, that's good to know. I was confused the whole time.
So I was asking them to just give me some feedback. I didn't give them any information on you guys other than, you know, third band from South Dakota that we're interviewing. And I was looking for them to tell me what they think your influences are and to just call out anything that they had noticed. So here are the comments that I received. You can tell me later if any of this is accurate. Oh, the first one was the double bass drum is sweet. So that's just a true statement. We got Slipknot, Bleeding Through. Slipknot came up a couple times. Machine Head came up a couple times. Someone said Trivium during the Shogun era. I fear I'm a little too young to know what that means. Fear Factory. Somebody said that a guitar solo in there sounded like Avenged Sevenfold. Somebody said that it had a really nice driving beat that you could tell that it was going somewhere good right from the beginning. Someone else just said, reminds me of high school and makes me happy. And so then I asked my metalcore guitar player friend, and he said it sounds like a conversion of a lot of different metal genres from the early 90s, the band Testament, and then Machine Head yet again. So what do we think of all that?
Accurate. Accurate. We don't really follow any line really closely, but you listed a bunch of bands we all like.
I figured that much. I personally, I had my hat in for Slipknot. I heard a lot of Slipknot influence in the vocals and the guitar, which was really nice because I love Slipknot guitar. I mean, that was like the first like really heavy band that I got into when I was younger. So it's always super nostalgic for me to hear the, those classic sounds.
The squealies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're definitely like a big thing around here since, like a Midwest band don't have many of them that have made it as big as they did. So
yeah, and they played here right before they popped, right before they got big. They played here with like Mudvayne, and that was pretty. As a kid, I remember being like, "Whoa!"
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what kind of music did you guys grow up listening to? I guess, Doug, we can start with you. What kind of music were you exposed to growing up? And like we can even go like further back than when you got into metal. Like, what was the first music you really appreciated when you were young?
when I was young, I mostly listened to like Christian pop music, contemporary Christian, worship
Oh,
music stuff. And then I'd say kind of like maybe late elementary school, started listening to some of like the classic, rock bands like Leonard Skinner, Led Zeppelin,
yeah,
that kind of thing. Sometime in middle school, a friend showed me this band who is, I think, from Omaha, like not a big band, but they were called Stigmata, and it
yeah. I know
scared
Stigmata.
the shit out of me. You know Stigmata? Yeah,
Yeah.
it scared the shit out of me, but it just like sucked me in. I was so intrigued. I had never heard anything quite like that. So from there, I just kind of, step after step, just kept going further and further into heavy music.
Wow. So you weren't scared away. You were scared, but you were still interested.
I was scared, like, into it, where I'm like, I'm scared, but I kinda like that I am, you know?
Mhm. Mhm. I like that. Okay, Frank, I'll pass it off to you. What was your early exposure, and then how did we get here?
I'm a little older than Doug, so when I was really young, hair metal was the thing,
Oh, okay, that's
and
that's the age range.
my parents just they loved fucking hair metal. And my earliest memory of like when I knew I really loved music was I went to the Scorpions concert in town in Sioux Falls at the arena, and he starts singing "Winds of Change" and he starts whistling, and you can just feel all the lighters are up, right, and then the goosebumps start popping up because he's like perfectly fucking in pitch, and that just like stuck with me. Even I'm 40 years old now, and I still love music, and I still love 80s hair metal.
Right? How could you not after that experience?
Yeah,
That's
I mean
incredible.
that turned me on to music. I think it was probably shortly after that where I started like paying more attention to like music in general and specifically guitar playing.
Mhm.
I I love guitar players, especially if there was like a fancy guitar player. It just had me like entranced as a kid. I loved it. My grandpa played guitar, not like that, but we played like simple chords and basic
Bob
songs.
Dylan.
Well, he my earliest memories of being in the room with him when he's playing guitar is like he's watching TV and a commercial comes on and there's a song playing and he'll play the song.
Whoa, that's
Like his
pretty
ears were good.
sick.
Yeah, his ears were good, so he could figure out the chords to the song really quickly.
That
Um,
ear, having a good ear like that is like priceless
yeah,
to me.
yeah. It's very kind of crazy.
Wow. Okay. So I
But then
was Go
as you
ahead.
get older, it changes a lot. You hit teenage years, and I think in middle school I was listening to hip hop, so because I love groove and just great rhythms and the whole nine yards. And all my friends were listening to hip hop too. Uh, and then in late middle school, early high school is when I found like Slipknot and shit like that. So that makes a lot of sense. They said they like Slipknot because I never drop tuned prior to this band, but I would imagine some Slipknot might slip out.
Right?
uh,
Well, my guitar player friend, it's funny that you mentioned hip hop. When I was talking to my guitar player friend, he said it's like your instruments are old school, but somehow you're falling somewhere between thrash and not quite new metal, which I thought
mm-hmm.
was interesting. So that does make sense that you had like a hip hop time of your life because it's a
Well, I had
very
hip hop and
rhythmic
then I had new metal.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right after the hip hop was new metal, like Disturbed, Power Man 5000, Marilyn Manson, all of that whole like TRL, MTV, metal pop, Limp Bizkit. We were all listening to that shit growing
Yeah.
up, right? And when I started playing guitar was around that time too. So some of the first things I learned was like, like Green Day and old school metal, like Black Sabbath and Smoke on the Water. And then as soon as I could, I went boom right into like Disturbed and all that kind of shit, trying to figure out those riffs. So
Right. I was gonna say, who was the first guitar player that you tried imitating? Like which guitar player inspired you to like pick up the guitar and you were like, ooh, I want to like learn these types of licks?
Zach Wild
Oh wow.
probably the first. You know, I I've always loved Ozzy. I love Jakey Lee. I love Randy Rhoads, and I love Zach Wild. So when you hear a squealy and it's obnoxious, it's loud, it's ridiculous, it's put in there maybe too much. That's what I like. That's what I'm shooting for. So.
And you never wanted to sing? It was always the guitars that turned you on to it?
I mean, I sing privately. I sing privately for my boys or at my house, or like I sing. I can sing. I can't sing. I was in another band with Jarrell from Temple of Soil.
Love
We were in a
Ralph.
band together called Pray for Villains, and a lot of times the writing process was a mix between the two of us trying to figure out how to do those vocals. And
Wow.
stuff.
Wow, I'd love to see that. Doug, I wanted to ask you as well. So you are the bass player in this band. Is bass your primary instrument, or do you just do that in this band?
Yeah, bass is the prime.
Okay. Did you always want to be a bass player?
No, I got a guitar in middle school and I tried and just never really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
And then sometime in high school, I I had like wondered if I would like the bass because I noticed that at shows I always liked watching the bassists. So I found like $100 bass at a pawn shop in high school, and it clicked with me better than guitar did. So
Wow.
I just pursued that instead.
Did you have inspirations as far as bass players, or were you kind of like forging your own path with the tools
Yeah,
available?
the first time that I remember thinking I want to do that was first time I saw a Rob Zombie show, and their bassist at the time was Biggie D, and his stage presence was just like so cool.
Mm.
I was like, man, I want to do some. I want to be that cool. I want like. There's just something about like you're not right out in front like a singer or a lead guitarist, especially in a band like that with the huge personalities. But like if you watch them, they're like he had a lot going on. He had his own thing going, and I liked that it was like interesting, but it was a little more reserved.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like down the road, when I started to pursue it more, a few of the bassists who really influenced me. I mean, it's really um, it's like a really basic answer, but Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath. Like I just had like a what would Jesus do, but like what would Geezer do kind of thing in terms of like thinking
Jesus.
about yeah, thinking about like movement under the guitars, and I loved how he would always do something,
Yeah.
something. He would match up with the guitars when it worked, when it was necessary, but he would find some way to like add some movement a lot of the times, and that was a big influence on me, as well as another early one was Orion from Behemoth.
Mm.
Uh, his tone and his writing style, like really intrigued me. So
Amazing. I'm curious. I've talked about this with my friends. I was just thinking about it when you were saying, you were seeing a bass player on stage being like, "Oh, I want to be cool. Like I want to be that cool." Do you feel like making the choice to become a musician that there's a part of you that wants to subscribe to like the rock star lifestyle that comes with it, like the nightlife, the sex, drugs, rock and roll, the girls, like that sort of stuff? Or do you think it's like a nice bonus but wasn't part of your vision initially?
hmm. I like the idea of being on stage and looking out over a sea of people. In terms of the rest of it, my social anxiety kicks in and I'm like, "Oh god, I have to talk to these people. I have to like interact." It's like when you're up on stage, you can try to fake it and then you get off stage and then you're like, "Oh shit, now I have to put my money where my mouth is."
Yeah. Does it change your perspective on it from going from like the kid watching the rock stars to like being the actual rock star?
I don't know. I get the sense that a lot of musicians' lives are not as glamorous as, you might dream that it
Right.
is. It feels like in some ways the struggling, local musician has probably experienced more of what a, professional musician's lifestyle is like than they maybe think they
Right.
have,
Mhm. I agree.
What about you,
Me or Frank?
Frank? What do you think?
I've never been into the rock star thing. I'm like
Really?
kind of the exact opposite. I know I got the rings and the bracelets and
Never even dipped a toe in?
I okay, so I have a bunch of children. I have 4 kids.
Right, right. That does
So
put a
I'm
damper on the
a dad
lifestyle.
first, and I never really I don't know, for the longest time I never really wanted to tour or I never did it to show off, I guess. I love music and I love writing music. I love making it and I love getting that out and letting people hear it. But I'm not the biggest fan of the whole grandstanding. I love Nickelback. I know that probably surprises people. I
Wow.
really like the band. I love their songwriting. I think that they're some of the best songwriters ever, pretty much. Um, but I like the musical part. I don't like the whole taking shots and all the
Mm.
fucking horn around. That ain't for me.
Yeah,
that ain't,
what's he say?
that
Fucking
ain't
in the
my thing.
airplane or whatever.
Well, it might be fun, but listen,
Maybe some of the
one
stuff is
person, not
good.
everybody.
Right, right, right. That's so funny. I just have
How
to
impressive
say,
is it if it's like the 100th different girl? I don't know. I don't get it. I
yeah, I
guess
don't get that either.
I don't
I
understand it.
have one-sided beef with Chad Kruger. It's Kruger apparently.
Is it like Freddie?
Yes, apparently that's how it's
Okay.
pronounced, and I learned because I may have said potentially that Chad Kroger looks fucking old now, and may have made it its way around the internet, and maybe his fans didn't like that, and uh, I may have
He's
had to do
getting
an
older. I
apology.
mean, I don't know. He's getting older,
He does look fucking old, but it's probably just because he's not doing Botox and shit, which is like good
yeah,
for you,
and
just
he lives
get old.
fast. Like the
Yeah,
faster you live, the more like the drugs and the drinking, it starts to you can see it on their faces.
yeah,
You can
live
see
your life.
it's old.
Who am I? I'm
Network.
getting fucking old too, but they got really mad at me. I had an army coming for me
That
for a
sounds like
minute
good
there.
publicity.
It was funny. I did a really funny like fake apology video where I like pulled out a ukulele and played a song, and it was great. you know. So you kind of talked about this already with the Scorpions, which I just have to say when you were talking about the Scorpions, Davisaurus, who is a community member of mine and arguably the oldest person in my community, said Scorpions were a hair metal band. Come on, brother.
They're like a heavy metal band, really.
They were lumped in with glam metal for
I mean,
sure.
they were playing with those bands. They were touring with them.
Yeah.
Do they sound like Warrant? No,
Right.
no. They're definitely more mature sounding and less like rock star-y, right? Like
Right.
Scorpions are just great fucking songs, great songwriters. Yeah,
Great songwriters.
great.
So I wanted to ask, but you did mention the Scorpion show. Was that your first show that you remember going to?
Yes, yeah. It's my
Really?
first show. Yep, yep, yep. Well, there seems to be some sort of mixed things. I was really, really young, but I think my parents took me to the Round to see Def Leppard, which is a terrible idea when
Oh.
you're under the age of 5 in Colorado. That's where I was born.
Oh
And
my
that's like,
god.
you're like, what are you doing?
That's
Like,
so insane.
yes.
How was that show? Do you
Everybody,
remember?
I don't, I mean, I kind of
Probably
remember,
for the
but I could
best.
just imagine how crazy it would have been in that, it'd been 80, '88.
Oh my gosh. That would have been
Jesus
so
Christ.
funny to see a
It'd
little
have been
kid at one of those
wild.
shows.
Sitting on his dad's shoulders.
Yeah,
Everybody's flashing.
next
Everybody's
to a
throwing
bunch of
shit.
women on the shoulders of their men with their tits out, flinging their bras on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Exactly.
amazing. That's why you're a musician.
And maybe. Maybe.
Doug,
Maybe.
what was your first show that you remember going to?
Gosh, we had this. I mean, going back to the contemporary Christian music thing, we had this big local festival for a lot of years here in Sioux Falls called Lifelight. And the genres kind of ran the gamut. There was like the big casting crowns kind of stuff, but there was a side stage that was more like teen oriented with like rock and metal bands.
Mm.
But I remember going to that at like a fairly young age. That's probably the first. It's not like an exciting answer, but I think that's the first show that I remember going to.
Did you want to get into contemporary Christian music when you first started playing?
No, like by the time that I started playing, I wasn't listening to that stuff anymore. It's just, like I think probably at that time it was like the safe thing for safe in air quotes. Sorry, I know you can't really see what I'm doing. The safe music, to expose your kids to. It's like,
Right.
Positive, uplifting kind of stuff. So I think that's why. And then by the time that I started to play a little bit more, I was more off on my own, in my own taste, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the church is still a really, I guess, prominent springboard for musicians. Like, even like just out of college, a lot of times, an entry level position will be music director at the church, and as a kid, it's really easy to get with small churches to get into like a church band or the church choir and kind of get like your early beginnings there. So I feel like that's a quite normal path, probably especially for the area that you grew up in.
That's a good point, and especially with like a lot of these kind of big evangelical churches, it's like the production value there is insane. You have a lot of really, really good musicians, a lot of really skilled people working, and your church services are basically concerts. I'm not, I don't mean that like in any kind of way, but it's there's a lot of work and a lot of talent in those places for sure.
Yeah, I've got some friends in those bands, and there's one that I like that's like based out of Georgia called Maverick, and they're actually like really fucking good.
There's some great Christian metal bands and rock bands. There is some great ones. But like what Doug was saying, like out here, like you go and you see like a service, it's a better production than any venue we have in the state.
The sound quality is insane.
Yeah. It's so built for it. It's like $1 million worth of like
the PA's there's like speakers in the seats
behind you. It's fucking huge. It's angled like a theater. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
And that's such a nice experience for musicians too. Then you get out in the real world and they're like, here you go. They kick you into the back of the bar in front of the dartboards. Yeah. There's one electrical
they don't
outlet.
Even move the pool tables. They just kind of just right next to them.
Yes. People are playing pool, like bumping into you while you're performing, blowing smoke in your face. Yeah. Wow. So what kind of music were you trying to make in the beginning, Frank? What was your like path that you saw for yourself in terms of your sound?
The musical journey was pretty weird for me. I suppose I started on acoustic.
Oh, that's the best way to start, I think.
So my first guitar, I was 8 years old when I got my first guitar. Yeah, I helped a guy who lived across the street who was a veteran, and he gave me an acoustic guitar, and I brought it home, and he taught me the beginning to Enter Sandman, and then my 9-year-old little brother jumped off the bed and landed on it.
Oh my god! Wait, Enter Sandman, that's so funny. How many guitar players do you think started with that fucking riff right there?
I don't know, but I know I loved that riff as a child. That's all I wanted to learn. It was what I wanted to learn. Um, and then when I turned 15, I had like a job and everything. So when my second paycheck ever, I went and I bought an acoustic guitar. And I started learning like Californication and like Time of Your Life by Green Day and all these acoustic songs that are more like singer-songwriter style songs. And I started singing right there. That's when I started singing. I'm not saying I was any good at it, but I was trying.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. And then I bought an electric after that. And once you buy an electric and kind of get into like the metal stuff, you know, and you're like, oh, I can actually play some of this Metallica stuff. And then I could play all of the Metallica stuff. And then I was like, oh, what's Testament? Oh, I love Testament. Oh, what's At the Gates? Oh, it's all this. You know, it just blows up to where you're get a little obsessive, maybe a little like, how far can I go? Like, how good can I get? You know,
Right.
and that's kind of how my musical journey happened. But my first band was a band called Flux, which later turned into Pray for Villains. So with Jarrell Showworld, we were playing in a band for 20 years or so together.
No shit. The Free Hugs guy.
The Free Hugs guy. Yeah.
Love that guy. He's fucking awesome.
We just never had rules, I guess, in Pray for Villains. We were never trying to like sound like anybody. You know, he loves metalcore. We all love metalcore, but I didn't want to sound like metalcore, which is why Temple of Soil is perfect for him.
Right. Yeah.
And I love like Lamb of God and like Devil Driver and Mastodon. And we were more into that like prog meets a genre rather than try to mimic a genre, you know. And that's probably why Exhausted, when they were listing all the sounds, because it is a little bit of all of those sounds.
Right.
There's no rules. I don't want anything like that. It's like let's push the boundaries.
Yeah, I think a lot of people prefer that these days, like a lot of genre blending, not wanting to be put in a box. It's just so ironic because metalheads are the biggest gatekeepers of subgenres in the fucking world. I mean,
it's very competitive.
It's so like the barrier to entry is insane. Like I started this show because I used to go to parties with all these musicians and I'd get a little drunk and I would just walk up to like the biggest asshole I could think of and I'd be like, "So, what do you think about this band? You think this is thrash metal? I feel like this is thrash metal." And they're like, "No, this is Norwegian black metal. Obviously. How could you even think that? You really don't know anything about music, do you?" And just like start shit with them. So I started asking all these questions and started this show from that. But
that's a great question. That's a great question.
I know.
It's so good. And the best part is if you're asking people who are mostly listeners and not musicians, they are really totally guessing. They have no idea
right
how to, you know, like.
Yeah, and that's like why we do it on the show all the time. And I usually will ask the artists that come on the show, how important do you think it is? Like, how important do you think it is to be defined by a genre? And is it a tool for the listener, or is it a marketing tool for the band, or both? And what truly defines it? Obviously, if it's, you know, Norwegian black metal, Norwegian is just where it's from, you know. But you'll find that you get different answers from people of what constitutes black metal, what constitutes sludge metal. I've been trying to get the fucking answer to that for a while, and everyone tells me something different. You know, even for me, like I feel like I know the characteristics of thrash when I hear it. When I hear thrash, I'm like, that's thrash. And I'll have a guitar player standing next to me and they'll go, yeah, that's thrash. And I'm like, oh, it's because of this. And they're like, no, it's not because of that. It's because of this. I'm like, okay. But what are your guys'?
Can be true though.
Yeah, well, it should. It's a lot of things, right? But what are your takes on it? What are your takes on the necessity of genres or not? Who is it for? Is it good? What is it to you?
I'll let Doug go first here.
I personally kind of love it. I'm not interested in necessarily letting people be, you know, bound by it. I don't think that it should ever be like a binding thing for musicians where it's like, oh, you can't incorporate this vibe because it's a different subgenre or something. But I do kind of love the insane, granular details that people get into in metal. I know it drives some people nuts, but I find that for some reason really intriguing and compelling. Um, but yeah, I think it's good if you don't necessarily put yourself in a box, or if other people don't try to keep you in a box. Like I'm more interested in, instead of subgenres being like constricting, if you're sort of able to widen things, and then as you go you're like adding more descriptions to your thing, and like you get to a silly point where it's like you have like 5 adjectives,
Right.
where it's like we're blackened, post, speed, thrash, like
Underground, upside down, purple,
yeah,
black
that
metal.
kind of that kind of stuff I think is fun personally. But I think as a listener, it can help as sort of like a signpost, where it's like, okay, well, if I like this band, I don't really know how to find if I don't know how to find bands like it, what genre is it? And it's like, oh, this is like Canadian war metal. It's like, all right, what other bands are like that? Is you
Yeah.
just look up, it's like, oh, if I like Blasphemy, maybe I'll like Conqueror, and just like so on and so forth. And that like helps you, can help you find your way.
Yeah. So it doesn't offend you as a band if people that are listeners want to put you in that box, because you understand that they're doing so as a tool for themselves, potentially.
Personally, yeah.
Okay.
I know that's not how everybody feels, but that's how it strikes me.
Frank?
I think genres are good for cataloging.
Mm.
That's about it. Is they are good for what Doug was talking about, like finding, if you're looking for something, it gives you a direction. It tells you like, hey, this is thrash metal. These bands sound like this. If you like this, you might like this too. So that's good. I think it's good for listeners to find it. From a musician standpoint, I am the exact opposite of that. I I like bands that are kind of doing something different. Like nobody knew what the fuck to call Meshuggah when Meshuggah came out.
Right.
What the fuck was this sound? What is it? It's Meshuggah. And
Right.
still to this day, all the gent bands are doing a Meshuggah impression, which is
Totally.
fine. It's cool. I like it. I love Periphery and shit like that too. But I ultimately I want to be a band like that. One that's the only thing that describes them is the name of the band. That's really what I want. Avenged Sevenfold's another great one. I mean, good luck putting them in a category. What are they?
They're
Rock,
changing
metal, hair
all the
metal? What
time.
what are they? What are they? Like electronic, analog metal? I don't know what they're doing now.
Analog metal.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Digital metal.
But there's no like category, they can't really
Yeah.
put it in there. It's got that Tim Burton vibe, but it's got a little bit of like 80s hair metal and a little bit of prog. So it's like, what's happened here?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's the goal.
I think so too. I view it as a marketing tool. Now I view it as something fun for me to talk about on my show and with with my community, because it sparks up a conversation, and it does weed out the jerks really quickly, because people do get up in arms about it still, and it's like, okay, well, you're not going to like it here if you have that rigid of a view of what it is. And we've had the big joke in our community is the new metal thing, because what truly defines new metal, do you guys consider Slipknot a new metal band?
I consider them new metal in the beginning, but I think they turned more into like a rock band that meets metal as they
Okay.
went on, because the hip hop influence and
Mhm.
like the groovy simple riffs that are a hip hop sound, that is new metal. I mean, to me, new
Right.
metal is Rage Against the Machine, and then all the bands that followed them, like Linkin Park, even early Disturbed had a lot of hip hop
Yeah.
influences. Korn has a massive amount of hip hop influences. That's really what new metal is. It's where hip hop meets metal.
Right. Doug, do you agree?
Yeah, I'd say I kind of think of genres as like a dartboard, and for me, new metal at the center of the bullseye might be Corn.
Mm,
So Slipknot, it's like you got a DJ, you got like a dude who just
right.
hits an empty keg of beer,
Yes.
with a baseball bat. It's like that's pretty fucking new metal.
It's also dope.
But at the same time, they're pulling. I mean, they sound like way heavier than like
all the
Korn.
other ones.
Right.
There's like a
they're
death
pulling
metal
from like
mix.
they're pulling from like Cannibal Corpse and that kind of stuff in the riffing, and so I would say that they are new metal, but they're like towards the outside of the bullseye. They're like a little bit further removed from like the core of new metal.
That's fair. That's fair. It's just so funny because everyone you ask about new metal, they give you a different answer. I swear to God. Next time you guys are at a party, start asking people what defines new metal. You'll start a fight.
When
I
there's
promise.
photos of the band members with that fisheye lens and the side
Yep.
head, that's pretty fucking new metal.
Yeah, it is.
That got trendy real quick, didn't it?
You can tell by the outfits too.
Oh
like
yeah,
a
the
metal
Jinkos.
guy in a flat brim hat. That's new metal. The big like Janko shorts,
Which I wore.
Right. Were you in a new metal band at the time?
No, but I loved that stuff. So I had the big stupid wallet chain and the big, shorts or they were pants. They were pants for me.
Yeah. The big crazy
4 people could fit in those fucking legs
Yes.
walking around.
Fred Durst is still rocking them.
Man,
He's keeping the dream alive out there.
people like it. Let him go. That's all I say. If it's working, do it, dude.
So how did this project get started? Obviously, you guys have been in quite a few different projects. How did Exhausted come about? You've been around for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years, I think, at this point.
Who's the leader? Do you have a band leader?
He's not here.
Okay.
But so this is all the catalyst of our buddy Mike. Michael Scott is the other guitar player in Exhausted.
Michael Scott?
Yeah, I know, right? That's his real name.
That's fucking awesome.
It's his real name. And he was doing like solo stuff where he was writing entire songs and then getting guests to come on them. He had a solo thing called Wretched Earth, and me and Nick both did a song with him, and then that was the catalyst for trying to find a band. We did a song called Disenchantment. It's on Spotify. You can actually find it if you can hunt it down. But after that, we were easily able to find Josh, Mr. Ferry, because Josh played with Nick in Tennessee Murder Club.
Oh, I see.
And Josh is like kind of he's like king shit drummer out here to me. I mean, all the metal guys fucking love the dude. And when you hear his drums, and I'm sure people commented on his drumming,
yes,
fucking,
drums are insane.
It's very, very good, and like unique. Like it's creative. It's not just programmed. It's like you could never program drums like he plays. You just couldn't do it. It's like too real. After that, I believe that was it Nick that contacted you, Doug?
Yeah, Nick contacted me. Said that they were looking for a bassist and someone who would not just follow the guitar, would try to like add something, and that they were hoping to work with someone new, that none of them had worked with before. So I'm a bit younger. I grew up listening to Nick's band Nodes, and the record that he was on was my favorite of their records, and so I was really stoked that he hit me up. But he said something like, "I've seen what you're doing in your other projects, and like that you bring something to the table." So yeah,
it's amazing. What a compliment.
Yeah, I was stoked.
Love that. So I do want to give you guys some space to talk about the EP. You have an EP coming out in a couple weeks. I wrote it down somewhere. No, it's over here.
Later this month.
The 26th.
The 26th.
So that's a week from Friday.
Yeah, like a week and a half. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I was only able to share obviously the music that's already available on Spotify with my community, and they loved it. I already told you all the sounds that they were hearing that they loved. Drums came up many times. What is different about this EP that people can look forward to? What was your goal in messaging or in your sonic evolution? What were the things that you left behind in the old EP that you wanted to start fresh in this one?
Okay.
Oh, Frank, you want to go?
Sorry, I should have picked one of you, but I didn't want to single you out.
Yeah. This one's a little more raw, a little more like lean and mean. We tracked it. We tracked it ourselves with the guidance of a guy out in LA named Dave. He's the guitarist for a band called All Hail the Yeti, and he's Mike's best friend. So he did all the mixing and mastering, but he helped to kind of guide us through recording it ourselves. But the one of the big things that he did was he took footage from us playing live, and then he did a beat map that incorporated all of the kind of organic push and pull that he was hearing in our live performance. So when we speed up, it speeds up. When we slow down, it slows down. And the last one that we did was with the guy who produced it, Jeremy Schaefer. He does great work. He's a hardcore dude, and he really brought like a modern hardcore kind of element. But then this one feels a lot more like stripped down and aggressive, raw kind of sound.
Love that. Frank, did you want to weigh in on that?
Sure. Yeah, the first record was done with Jeremy Schaefer, like you said. Jeremy has been doing production for 20 plus years at this point. His was very methodical, very clean. Everything is to the grid, perfectly performed, nailed. So when you listen to the tracks of the other ones, that's modern production. That's how most, I don't know how your groups record, Laila, but that's most production is like perfect. Mm-hmm. Everything is put perfectly, sampled over, so it sounds really big. Maybe a little compressed too. With Dave, it was much more, like Doug said, raw, where it's not perfect. Not everything is put on the grid. It feels like a live band is playing, but it is very loud, very aggressive, very distorted, and tight still. Somehow we're able to do the tight, but it has a flow to it that isn't that to the beat map all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a little different, I think.
Very interested in the beat mapping. I actually heard Dave Grohl talk about this in his Hot Ones interview about how a lot of bands just record to the click, basically, and that you're kind of bound by that, and then you lose that swelling that you were talking about, the natural ebb and flow of a song where it is going to speed up and slow down at times.
Well, it's even more than that, because when they put a beat map out, right, and you're playing to the click, like they go and if there's a note that's slightly off the beat, it's perfectly put on the beat over and over and over again. So imagine doing that for drums. It's just,
oh my God.
That's what you hear in most metal records and rock records, especially like a Nickelback. That's what you're hearing. Right. you're perfectly to the grid, perfectly quantized. Very different when we went through Dave, and also we got to do the tracking ourselves. So we got to take a little bit more time to make sure we get takes and performances that maybe we're more lively and human sounding, and then perfect. And the day you're doing it perfect is it can sound like other bands or more cliche. Right. So
I'm curious what elements. I feel like old school like metal and rock is kind of a part of your sound. Maybe that's not intentional, but I guess, is it intentional? And are there certain elements that you guys are trying to keep alive in this EP and as you move forward?
Yeah, we're some of us are old, so saying that it's old takes is like, yeah, I mean, some of us just
old
never
guys like having a young guy in the band.
We're still doing. We do. We need a puppy. There needs to be one puppy.
Yes, it's like the fountain of youth type stuff.
You can't see Doug either, but he's a giant.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm a midget. He's a giant. So
I love that for you guys. Yeah. What a fun look on stage.
I have a theory that they mostly wanted me for the hair because I have long hair and none of the rest of them do. So I think that was really the thing. It's like, we need someone who can windmill. We need someone who can headbang.
We need someone who looks cool on stage.
You need to do like a bunch of glued down wigs, windmilling one day.
Like Steel Panther, where they have those bandanas over.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so you were saying that your old school elements.
Oh yeah, so yeah, we're definitely the old school thing. You know, I grew up playing Metallica and Megadeth, and you know, I love Testament. Out of the California like thrash bands, Testament is my favorite. So when somebody said Testament, it's like you
Multiple
can't be too
people
far
said
off.
Testament.
You can't be too far off. I love Skolnick and all those. Eric Peterson, I love that sound. You know, that really influenced the melodic death metal side, which is I heard nothing of, but that is a big part of our sound too. You know, we love In Flames, At the Gates,
Oh no shit.
Dark Tranquility. These are some bands. You know,
Yeah.
Soilwork. I like all these kinds of bands too. Carcass, we fucking Heartwork is so great. Death, we love Death. You know, also, you know, the third record of Death, you know, Sound of Perseverance is very, very melodic. I like the heaviness, but I want some melody too. I don't want it to just be heavy. It needs to be melodic as well. And good songwriting, which is very important.
Yeah, and you hear a lot of that mostly in your leads, Frank. You know, a lot of the riffs are a little more like, you know, groove metal, a lot of like Pantera kind of vibes, but then that mellow death I think really comes in with your leads and like the choruses that you'll often write, you know.
Yeah, I'm always trying to sprinkle something in there that it's catchy too, right? And then Nick's doing something that he never did in any of his other bands, where he's kind of scream singing. He's like singing in pitch, screaming in pitch, and we couldn't have been happier when he did that. We were like, oh shit, yes.
Like that Chester type scream.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like a Fry scream, but there's a little melody in his vocal lines.
That's
you didn't want to go too crazy with it, but he's putting melody in the vocal lines so that they're complementing everything else that's going on melodically. Because I'm the melody nerd probably in the band who like wants things to be you know, catchy.
Right.
I think it's really important.
Where do you see the sound evolving? Obviously, you've had a couple years and now a couple EPs under your belt to see kind of where things could go. Where do you see the sound evolving? Doug, I guess I'll start with you.
Well, Frank's been on a tech death kick lately, so some of the stuff he's been writing is challenging, we'll say.
Math metal. Love
it. And you know, Frank's so good that when it's like, yeah, when Frank is saying, yeah, this is hard, because they're like, oh, it's simple, it's nothing. And it's like, dude, that took me hours to perform kind of poorly, you know? And Frank will just be like, oh, it's no big deal. It's, you know, it's nothing. But
typical
so when
Frank.
even Frank, yeah, I was on an Archspire kick. So this might be a little much. And it's like, oh, fuck. All right, here we go.
Wow. Frank, what do you have to say for yourself?
He's not wrong.
Is that the direction you're trying to take things? Is more in the techie style?
I guess I never planned for it like that. I just want more of what we do to expand. I want the bubble to get bigger. The first record, and so the first and the second, so the first EP and the second EP are kind of tied because 2 songs off of the next EP were actually written at the same time as the other EP. So they're not that separate. They're kind of the same ilk. And then the third song was one, End Result, which will be coming out on the EP, is the one that we wrote that's kind of like the newest that'll be released. And that's more of like a mellow death thrash thing. It has a lot of melody in it. The next set of songs is looking to get a little more techy, a little bit more leady. Still tons of melodies, tons of heavy grooves, aggressive as fuck. You know, we're making sure that we're keeping all the bones intact. We're just expanding the bubble. So.
Well, Frank, you had some doom in some of that too.
Yeah.
Doom.
Some doom.
You're gonna confuse everyone that's trying to put you in a box with your genres.
Yeah, not happening. I'm gonna do something stupid. I promise.
I love that. I love that.
So is Mikey. Mikey loves that shit too. So we're all over the place with what we like. You know, we like all kinds of stuff. So, and we try to take everybody's input too. This band is very collaborative, and we're bound to make sure that everybody enjoys what's going on. We don't want anybody, you know, not feeling it. It's got to be a thing that we all feel. And then we can trust our instinct. We're not like stand up guys where we can test it. We have to create it in a vacuum and then, oh, and shit, here you go.
Yeah, that's the world we live in now for musicians, I feel. It's sitting in your room, banging out riffs and then, try to capitalize on the time that you have together. But it's super important to have a great group of people that is collaborative with you when you're in that type of a band. So good for you guys. It sounds like you've accomplished that between each other. So it's great. What do you say we get into some fun questions? Now we're about an hour in. So these are like my party questions that I would ask my friends, ask musicians after the gig, at 2:00 in the morning, drunk from the gig at somebody's house at the after party. So just keep that in mind. Like that's the mindset I want you to have, is like no inhibitions, whatever you feel. Or if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. They're just for funsies. All right, what is a super cliche stereotype about musicians that is absolutely true? Doug, we'll start with you. You can think about it for a second. I know it's a weird one. If you need an example, I can give you one.
I mean, I guess I kind of touched on it earlier. I feel like a lot of musicians are like really nerdy, when you get down to it.
The good ones.
Yeah, they got to be like, you can't get that good at an instrument without being kind of a nerd. And then once you get into like all your tech stuff, like so many musicians are like, I need this specific amps. And it's like, once like what ohms are and shit like that for your amp, it's like you're a nerd, dude, So
as a side note to that, how long do you guys spend fiddling with your pedal to get the right tone?
it's like it's never ending, I'll do something and I'll be like, this is pretty good. It's never but it's pretty good. And then I'll hear it, the next day and it's like, oh God, what was I thinking? This is terrible. Right.
Start looking around the room. It's like, who moved the plant? I swear to God.
Literally.
The plant had an impact on that town.
So I was interviewing Chase and Jarrell of Temple of Soil a couple weeks ago. And I think it's for the next question I'm about to ask you guys. Chase's answer was, don't ask me about my guitar tone because I don't have one. And
I know,
was
we
like,
had this discussion.
What? And he's like, I don't care. I don't fuck with pedals. Like, I don't care what the tone is. And I was like, you're the first guitar player I've ever heard that doesn't fuck around with the pedal for 45 minutes before the show starts. It's crazy.
He's lying.
You think?
He's a production guy. He's full of
That's
shit.
what I was thinking. I'm like, this is your fucking job.
I honestly think, because I know he runs a Kemper profiler, nerd talk. He runs a Kemper profiler, so I'm pretty sure whatever tone he uses on the record, he actually just uploads to his profiler. And I bet he mics those cabs too, so he's probably using the same cab and everything. So he's just like, this is what it sounds good on a record. I'm going to do this live, and I'm not going to fuck with it. And I know he doesn't like to tap dance, which, I tap dance. It's a pain in the ass.
Right.
It does suck. It's like you're halfway across the stage. You're like, fuck, here comes the lead.
This part's coming up. Yeah.
They're running back,
Yeah.
I've been at Chase's place and he's like, what kind of guitar tone are we looking for on this? And we were like, we want an HM2 tone. And then he pulls up his, sound bank and he has like dozens of HM2 tones. And it's like, yeah, there's no fucking way he doesn't have a
right.
tone.
He's totally lying.
Oh, I'm going to call him out so hard next time I get him on the show.
Or he just doesn't, he sets it and leaves it and he considers that not messing with it. But he spent fucking hours picking what it was going to be that he's going to take.
He is the rhythm guy.
And they sound great.
He's not a lead guy, right?
Who? Chase? Chase is the lead guy.
He fucking shreds. You might not know it from some of the bands he plays in now because there are a lot of like hardcore, but he fucking shreds.
Does he?
Chase is beastly. Yeah, he's a very good.
He pretends like he's this quiet background guy. I just make some music in my room, and he's really like this absolutely gnarly shredder.
Oh yeah.
Wow. See,
He's a
I'm
shark.
glad I had you guys on.
I'll throw him
needed
under
this
the bus.
ammo. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so Frank, super cliche stereotype about musicians that's absolutely true.
Egos.
Egos. All of them? All the different types of musicians?
Lead guitar players and singers almost always have
Yeah.
a pretty big ego, like so big that their head barely fits through the fucking door.
Yeah.
You know, like I was with one that I love him to death. You met him, Jarrell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we used to tease him so much about his head's never going to fit through that door.
That's so funny.
Because he'd show up to the first show for like with the first time he wore the chain, we were teasing him so bad because at his live shows he always wears this big chain with like a padlock.
Yep.
And it's a real toe chain. I mean, it's a big fucking chain.
Yeah.
And we're like, what are you doing here? White Mr. T? What's going on?
British spit. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Egos. That's a good one.
He does help move stuff though, so I will admit that he is not lead singer syndrome. He will help the drummer. He will set things up. He runs the merch table. Jay is fucking hardworking. Yeah.
So awesome. That was what he said. That was his answer to this question. Is the singer never helps load in? He said, but I do.
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah. He does. He absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Second question: if you could educate future attendees of your show, what are some audience do's and don'ts that you would like them to know from the artist perspective? This is the one where Chase said, "Don't talk to me about my guitar tone."
I do.
Doug.
I think come take the mic, do like the hardcore thing. We love that when people are trying to do vocals, you know.
Oh my God. You're going to get somebody arrested.
I mean, we're playing small venues. There's not like security who's going to stop you from that shit.
It's so funny.
Yeah, we love when people do that kind of thing. But don't step on pedal boards. Don't unplug people's shit while you're up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big ask.
No
Come
drink
on stage, but don't touch anything. And they're probably drunk too.
True.
But I do think that makes for a fun show.
Yeah.
Okay, Frank, what do you think?
No drinks near the stage.
No drinks near the stage. Yeah, exactly. That's
a little bit of a gap. You know, I play a Helix line 6, so it's like a pedal board. Mm-hmm. It's all it is. If a drink hits that, it's the end of the show.
Yeah, don't put your drink down on an amp either.
Please don't do that. Yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah. Any do's for them?
Yeah, always mosh, but don't punch the girls.
Thank you.
Find a mosh. Don't push around the little girls or punch them. Damn it.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Yeah, don't get too crazy and pick people up. And usually our scene is awesome. Everybody's pretty nice in our scene. Like people get hurt every now and then, but it's not super common.
Yeah.
And if somebody does get hurt, stops immediately. Somebody picks them up. Boom.
That's how it should be, for sure. Mm-hmm. If money was no object, what is your dream venue? It can be a specific location. Ooh, it can be a specific location or like a type, like a stadium or something. What types of experiences do you want to be available for guests at this venue? And what are you bringing with you on stage for your stage performance, Doug?
I'd love to play First Ave in Minneapolis.
Ooh.
That's just like such a sick venue, and like everybody who's somebody who's played there would be so cool. Sorry, what were the sub questions?
Types of experiences would be available for guests to be doing like while the show's going on? And what are you bringing with you for like your stage show?
I've always thought it would be so sick and completely impractical to have a tattoo artist just like on payroll who's tattooing your shit on people who want it.
Yes. Oh, this is
like,
great.
Bankroll you, come get your free tattoos of our band, you know?
Yep.
I think that would be like the coolest thing.
So good. I would pay for that. If there was a tattoo artist at a Paramore show tattooing Paramore tattoos, I'm getting one. I'm getting a couple if I can. That's dope. And I'd pay probably a lot.
Yeah.
For that experience.
Right.
And Doug, what is your stage gonna look like? What's like your ideal stage setup?
Oh man.
Pyro, lasers, fog, a full like 3D virtual display like at fucking Tomorrowland or whatever it is at EDC.
Yeah, I would love pyro sometime. I've never, been in a band who's done pyro before. That would be so sick. And like you can't beat a good lights show. It like you can take a band that's like really shitty and you give them good light show and they seem so pro, you
True.
know.
I love a good light show.
Yeah.
Even if it's like simple, like one of my favorite shows I ever went to, it was the band Brand New. I don't know if you remember them from back in the day. Um,
Yeah.
it was literally they played all the classics, and that was all I wanted to hear. And it was just backlit. It was like those big round yellow lights, the big circles, and it was
Yeah.
probably like 12 of them behind the stage, and they would just
Uh,
flash right at like the right moment, and you could just see the silhouettes of everybody and like spit
yeah.
flying. And it's
Mm,
one of my top 3 shows I've ever been to, and it was like simple but perfectly timed lighting that made it like
right.
super super crispy and cool.
And memorable.
I'll never forget that. It's like burned into my brain the image of that, like this outdoor amphitheater at night. Just like it was in Florida, so it was fucking hot, just sweat
Mm,
and spit, and it was beautiful.
yeah.
Okay, so pyro, is that final answer? Pyro. You
Yeah,
can
I
add
think so.
stuff if you want. Jarrell had all sorts of ideas. He was like silly string cannons and stuff.
Yeah, Jarrell's the king of that shit.
Yeah, out here he loves that shit. Yeah, he did that all the time in Villains, and we just let him run. And like, I'm not saying I'm not stopping anything because it's every time it just keeps getting more and more interesting. More and more people show up.
Right.
More and more people have fun. That's all we're trying to do.
He's a character.
Mhm.
All right, so pyro. All right, Frank, let's hear it.
Uh,
Where are we going?
I'm going way bigger. I'm going way bigger. I
Okay.
like the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's a fun
I
one.
think that one is the shit. And I want it to be set up like if you've ever seen Metallica's Through the Never DVD, where they have that big long stage that they walk around on. It's kind of like
Oh,
the round
yeah.
middle. And then they have all the crazy displays, like when the Justice for All comes out, stuff's falling over, right? The lightning is like lightning strikes on it. You could just
Mhm.
make the light show incredible and
Yeah.
really go over the top. I love pyro too, so trying to combine that with like Parkway Drive's fucking
Yep.
ridiculously awesome pyro show is kind of that's where I would go with it. I
Okay.
want go big or go home. Like yeah.
Anything cool for the audience?
I thought it would be really cool to have like in your ticket, like when you get it, they like it comes in like a case,
Mhm.
right? Like a collectible card almost.
That's
That would be
fun.
really really cool to have stuff like that, and then of course to like maybe have moments where you're actually walking through the crowd more, right? Like maybe have
Oh,
stuff where you're actually like engaging with the people.
yeah. That's
Happening.
fun.
Have paths cut out to where security can walk you down, or like Nick could be on the other side of the venue yelling at people. You know what I mean? That would be cool as fuck.
That's fucking awesome. I have to just tell you because I'm just remembering now as you're talking. I'm pretty sure I interviewed Zach Lewis of Indigent, and I'm pretty sure he said that he wanted to perform in front of the pharaoh, like the Sphinx in Egypt.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. That's cool. Or the pyramids in the background
You
and
with the
shit.
pyramids in the background,
Yeah, that'd be
and
cool as fuck.
I'm pretty sure he said water slides for the audience.
That's awesome. Like a big pool. That'd be the
Yeah,
shit.
a wave pool. Yeah, yeah, he said a wave pool too. Yeah.
God damn, y'all put my answer to fucking shame.
Do you want to
'Cause
make any revisions?
no, I'm committed. I'm committed. I'm
I mean,
locked
you had
in.
a good
Doug,
answer,
it's
I
the
thought.
moon, bro. You got to play on the moon, man. First band on the moon.
The moon. I did suggest Mars, but nobody's taken me up on it. Okay. All right, we're gonna get into our last little section here. I'm gonna pull up the the display that you did not see at all yet. Okay, so you can look now. This is the title of the show, Fuck, Marry, Kick Out of the Van, because we're not going to murder anybody here today. Not on Twitch, unfortunately. So I tried to pick, because I thought I was just interviewing a guitar player today, so it's mostly guitar player stuff, though there are some non-guitar players. So have you guys played Fuck, Marry, Kick Out of the Van before?
Negative.
Okay. Do you know how it works?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't need to explain anything. So you got to pick one of these lovely gentlemen to fuck, one to marry, and one to kick out of the van. So here we have, of course, legends Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, and Prince. Someone's got to go, someone's going to stay, and someone's just a one-night stand.
You want to go first, Doug, or you want me to?
All right. I think marry Hendrix.
Okay.
Kick Clapton. Fuck Prince. He seems like that would be a wild night.
I totally agree. That's so good. See, I knew Eric Clapton was going to get hate when I put this in here. I kind of figured both of you were going to kick him. But Frank, go ahead.
We'll see.
Go ahead.
I mean, maybe we are cliche, but yeah, there goes Eric Clapton.
Bye.
Put him in the band. I don't need that.
Oh my god.
I think I'm the opposite of Doug. I think I would marry Prince and
fuck Jimmy.
Hang out with Jimi Hendrix
for the night. Have a wild night with Jimmy. That would be a wild fucking night too. Honestly, between the two of them, I mean, Prince made it farther in life. I guess.
For me, like Prince's songwriting alone is like so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather have that around me all the time than Jimmy's acid trips. You know what I mean? Like there's only so much before the mind breaks.
I know, but then like if you marry Jimmy, then he dies young. Then you get to be a widow.
Yeah.
that's one side.
Widower.
Davo in my chat said his cousin is friends with Eric Clapton and he's telling on you.
Oh my God. Eric Clapton doesn't give a shit about us.
Can you tell Eric Clapton that I was named after the song that he wrote and I would like to meet him? Thanks.
Really?
I was.
Didn't they spell it differently though?
They spelled it differently, yeah. Because my mom is from Morocco, so they spelled it the actual Moroccan, like Arabic way.
I guess.
But yeah, I've heard he's kind of a dick, so I'm really not surprised. I grew up thinking he was like the coolest guy ever because my dad really loved him, and then I got older and I found out all this shit about him that he's like racist and all this stuff.
Oh, he's old. I mean, I think that totally different era.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, number 2. There's only 3. Don't worry. All right, so we got here Paul McCartney, Kirk Hammett, and I think that's Eddie Van Halen.
Yes, it is.
All pretty good looking dudes, you might say.
I'll go first. This is easy. I don't like the Beatles at all, so Paul can take a hike.
Me neither.
I'm not a fan. I don't. There's a couple songs by the Beatles that I don't mind. Like "Come Together" is pretty decent, but Paul's not my vibe. I think I'm a Metallica guy. I got to take Hammond is the Mary, and Eddie's he's the other side. I mean,
I'm fully with you on this one. Yeah. I'm fully with you on this one. Yeah, I don't like the Beatles. Wings has one good song, in my opinion, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a lot of crybaby stuff for me. All right, Doug, what do you think?
Marry Paul.
Oh.
He's fucking insane bass player. The Beatles kick ass. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. And Paul McCartney is just like the iconic bass lines that have come from him. I'd say kick Hammett, fuck Eddie.
Oh, you're kicking Kirk. Kirk to the curb.
Well, it's not for everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. He's good, but he's not Eddie good. you know?
That's
He's
true.
not any good. He's not.
Feels like if one of them, if you're trying to have a one night stand, I feel like Eddie's probably better with his fingers than Kirk is, just from what you see.
Oh, that's true.
You know?
Yeah,
So
that is true. I didn't think about that. Now you got me thinking, but now Paul's got to go. Paul's got to go. Sorry. I'm sorry. I respect the Beatles and what they did for music. I truly do, but it's okay. We can have different tastes. Okay, this one's a little weirder. So, you got Corey Taylor. Um the guy in the middle is
Sinister
Sinister
Gates.
Gates
Mhm.
from Avenged Sevenfold.
Mhm.
And then you got Joey Jordison. Rest in peace on the right. Frank, what do you think?
Oh, this is so difficult. Put 2 Slipknot guys in there.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta kick Corey out.
Corey's gone!
I'm gonna send Corey packing.
Oh my god, Sinister made it.
Sinister's Mary for sure. Like out of those 3 guys, I think I'm the bigger fan of him.
Okay.
He's like one of my favorite guitar players, and I love Avenged Sevenfold. And then Joey is not just an amazing drummer, but a fucking crazy good songwriter too.
Mm-hmm.
He did a set of songs for Roadrunner United. If you ever look that up, he worked with a bunch of guys all over the Roadrunner like metal scene and fucking wrote some badass songs. So Joey is unbelievably talented, way past his crazy drumming. So I'll take him as the last.
The one night stand.
Yeah.
All right, Doug.
I think I will probably kick Corey too.
Oh shit! Bye,
He
Corey.
seems like a nice guy. I'm just kind of tired of hearing about him. It's like not personal, but I think I don't know. I don't have an opinion on Sinister Gates, but
he's new and fresh.
yeah, he's looking all right in that photo. So probably one night stand him. I hear Joey's was like a sweetheart, so he'd probably be the Mary.
The nicest guy. Everybody who meets him says he was cool as shit.
Yeah. So that's what
good.
I'm going with.
Devo said, "Why do you guys keep fucking the dead guy? Don't kink shame us." Gosh. Well, you made it to the end, my friends. We did talk a little bit about your EP that's coming out on the 26th, which is a week from this Friday. Did you have anything else that you'd like to promote? Any shows or anything? I could put you guys up on the big screen and you can give us a little spiel about anything you would like to talk about. Yeah?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Go ahead.
Come check us out at Four Winds, which is a big music festival out here. What is that? August 28th? Is that when it is, Doug?
Gosh, I'm pulling out my phone to look right now.
Me too. We're both
It's okay. There's no rush. I also for my chat while you guys are doing that, I did put the links for Exhausted's Instagram and Spotify. If you wouldn't mind, just click those, give them a follow. That way you can be abreast of whatever it is they're up to, including the EP release next week.
Yeah, it looks like Four Winds is the 21st and 22nd out here. It is a gigantic festival. It's going to be held at multiple venues. Basically, all of downtown Sioux Falls is kind of like participating in it in some way. We'll be playing that festival, and a bunch of other great bands will be playing that festival. Totally worth. If you're anywhere in the Sioux Falls area, Minnesota, even Nebraska and Iowa, totally worth the trip. It's a great time. Tons of music. If you're a music fan and arts fan, it's fucking amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Mm-hmm.
The genres kind of run the whole spectrum too. So no matter what you're into, you'll find something there.
Yeah.
So fun. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on my show today. It was really, really lovely to speak to you. So glad I got to meet another amazing band from South Dakota.
Thanks again for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us for sure. It was awesome.
Of course. Thank you to my chat for being here, for chatting along with us. Davo, you're hilarious as usual. Thank you for that. And to the raiders that came in, sorry that I wasn't able to greet you. Thank you, Jill, for the raid. And I saw Mitty and Podgy in there as well. So hello, friends. Hello. And to Jinerpot, an 80s metal woman / Nepo Mama, and PJ as well. I will not be raiding out, so my stream is just gonna end here. And then for Doug and Frank, just hold tight for a second, and I'll see you backstage in Uno Momento. Everybody else, thanks for hanging out with us. See you next time. Bye.